With Radio Algeria International, you will not miss a single major political or economic event. Radio Algeria International, our voice in the world.
This is the English service of Radio Algeria International. It's time for the news.
In today's top stories, here in Algiers, the President of the Republic has received the President of the Republic of Angola, João Lourenço, on his official visit to Algeria. Prime Minister Sifir Reeb has chaired here in Algiers the opening ceremony of an information day dedicated to strengthening the effectiveness of the one-stop-shop system. The head of the Palestinian National Council, Rouhi Fatouh, has rejected as ethnic cleansing the Israeli occupying authorities' decision to confiscate a region in the West Bank town of Jenin. Hello and welcome to Radio Algeria International. I'm your host, Miriam Barshi. The President of the Republic, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, has received the President of the Republic of Angola, João Lourenço, on an official visit to Algeria. He was welcomed upon his arrival at the Houari Boumediene International Airport by government members, senior officials and diplomatic corps accredited here in Algiers. Representing the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, the Speaker of the Council of the Nation, Azouz Nasri, will take part tomorrow in Kampala in the swearing-in ceremony of the re-elected Ugandan President, Yoweri Museveni. Upon his arrival at Entebbe International Airport, Mr. Nasri was received by Uganda's Minister of State for Cooperatives, Frederick Ngobi Gume, the Ambassador of Uganda to Algeria, John Chrysostom Alitumba Nsambu, and Algeria's Ambassador to Uganda, Murad Amokran. Prime Minister Sifir Reeb has chaired here in Algiers the opening ceremony of an information day dedicated to strengthening the effectiveness of a digital window. The opening ceremony of the event, organized by the Algerian Investment Promotion Agency under the slogan, The One-Stop Shop from ID to Implementation, is part of the implementation of structural reforms undertaken by the state to improve the business climate and enhance investment efficiency in Algeria. In a speech he made on the occasion, the Prime Minister stated that the Information Day is an important milestone in strengthening our investment system in line with the reformist vision set by the President of the Republic in fulfillment of his firm commitment to building a strong, diversified and resilient economy capable of moving confidently toward the future.
نلتئم في محطة هامة لتعزيز منظومتنا الاستثمارية.
We are gathering at an important milestone to strengthen our investment system in line with the reform vision set by the President of the Republic, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, implementing his firm will, which he has repeatedly reaffirmed, to build a strong, diversified and resilient economy capable of moving confidently towards the future. This meeting represents a new stage in renewing the trust contract between the state and the investor in light of the new documents that were recently adopted. In this regard, the objectives are clear and unambiguous, namely eliminating cases of delay observed in the past that were hindering initiatives, removing obstacles that lead to the disruption of projects, and consolidating a culture of performance and transparency in procedures and investment activity in an irreversible manner.
Mr. Reeb announced that the number of projects registered with the Algerian Investment Promotion Agency has exceeded 20,000, with the value surpassing 9 trillion dinars. He stressed that the agency has begun restructuring and examining key regulatory documents in the sector with the aim of achieving a comprehensive simplification of the entire investment system.
Strengthening
the investment framework is essential to adapt it to a rapidly changing world where value chains are undergoing a profound transformation due to geopolitical tensions, the energy transition, and the digital revolution. In this context, the investment climate is no longer a technical or secondary issue. It has become a key pillar for our ability to attract productive investments, develop our enterprises, services and integrate into regional and international value chains. The implementation of the investment system has enabled the accumulation of highly important experience. Since these documents came into force, the Algerian Investment Promotion Agency has recorded more than 20,000 investment projects with a total declared value exceeding 9,000 billion Algerian dinars, around $67.5 billion US dollars. It is expected to generate more than 525,000 jobs.
و25,000 فرصة عمل.
Director General of the Algerian Investment Promotion Agency, Omar Rakesh, for his part, announced that the agency is working on launching the digital one-stop shop as part of efforts to digitalize various procedures related to investment activity, ensuring a clear, fast and secure process.
في إطار تجسيد رؤية رئيس الجمهورية السيد عبد المجيد تبون.
As part of the implementation of the vision of the President of the Republic, Mr. Abdel Majid Tebboune, aimed at setting up a secure and attractive investment climate that builds confidence among economic operators and grants productive enterprises the status they deserve as a key driver of growth and wealth generation and jobs. The activation of the single window represents a concrete translation of the strong political will and a major milestone in fulfilling the major commitments taken by the President of the Republic. I would like to point to an ambitious program aimed at improving the quality of services provided to investors, addressing their concerns, supporting them, and ensuring field follow-up for the effective implementation of their projects. We have also begun implementing an action plan through which we aim to generalize digitalization across all procedures related to investment and have raised our ambitions high towards achieving the goal of the digital single window.
تحقيق هدف الشباك الوحيد الرقمي.
The meeting is part of the implementation of the strategic guidelines of the President of the Republic, Mr. Abdel Majid Tebboune, aimed at making of investment a central pillar of economic diversification through the modernization of administrative management mechanisms and the simplification of procedures in order to ensure a more attractive and transparent environment for investors. The 12th edition of the African Investment and Trade Forum, AFIC 12, has wound up here in Algiers, highlighting Algeria's central role in supporting African economic integration and strengthening development partnerships across the continent. Mr. Sharfi has more details in this report.
In a final document, the participants highlighted that Algeria, under the leadership of the President of the Republic, Mr. Abdel Majid Tebboune, continues to consolidate its position as a key player in supporting African issues through encouraging investment and trade exchanges, as well as supporting continental economic integration projects. They hailed Algeria's role in supporting continental infrastructure, the African Continental Free Trade Area, and investment and exports to African markets, reinforcing its position as a strategic gateway between Africa and the world. They also called for accelerating economic integration projects, strengthening investment and digital transformation, enhancing public-private partnerships and intra-African trade, and enabling young people and startups to access continental markets and opportunities. The communiqué stressed that the forum served as a strategic African stop aimed at strengthening economic integration, boosting investment and intra-African trade, and advancing Africa Agenda 2063 through concrete partnerships and projects. The forum brought together decision makers, investors and financial institutions, recording more than 550 bilateral meetings and the signing of over 70 expressions of interest agreements, including 20 concerning Algeria. The president of the Arab African Center for Investment and Development, CAAID, Mr. Boutalbi Amin, said the forum agreements strengthen Algeria's position as a gateway to economic opportunities in Africa, while the director of the North Africa and Sahel Department within the AFCFTA, Emmanuel Mbanga, said the event helped assess the continent's potential and discuss the implementation of the AFCFTA.
A delegation of experts and engineers from the Niger Ministry of Petroleum is on a working visit to Algeria as part of efforts to strengthen bilateral cooperation and exchange expertise in the energy sector. The visit follows the signing on March 24th in Niamey of a memorandum of understanding between the two sides aimed at promoting bilateral cooperation. Niger's delegation began its visit with a technical meeting at the headquarters of Sonatrach's exploration and production activity, with the vice president in charge of this division, Farid Jittu, in the presence of representatives from the Ministry of Hydrocarbons and the Al-Naft. The delegation also visited Al-Naft's Data Management Center as well as the Data Management Center of the Production Division within Sonatrach's exploration and production activity in Algiers. The program includes several technical visits to Sonatrach's facilities and infrastructures in Boumerdès, notably the Seismic Data Processing Center of the NAGO, the Exploration Division Data Management Center, and the Laboratory Division. The delegation also traveled to Hassim Saoud in Algeria's southern part to visit several specialized structures, including the coal storage facility dedicated to preserving rock samples, as well as Sonatrach subsidiaries. According to Sonatrach, the visit is part of Niger's ambitions to modernize its technical structures in the hydrocarbon sector. It also aims to benefit from Algeria's experience in petroleum data management, digital infrastructure and hydrocarbon quality control, as well as to promote the exchange of technical and organizational expertise in best practices adapted in the sector. The president of the France-Algeria Association, Ségolène Royal, has held a new direction in bilateral relations in light of several historical stages and milestones, notably the commemoration of the May 8, 1945 massacres. Masoud Sharfi.
Ms. Royal said to media outlets that conditions and power dynamics should no longer define relations with Algeria, stressing that the country deserved to be treated as an equal. She added that the Pope's visit had played a very important role, praising the way President Abdelmadjid Tebboune received the pontiff and highlighting the Pope's remarks on the Algerian people and the country's history, particularly his reference to the Martyrs' Memorial to the May 8, 1945 massacre. The president of the French-Algerian Association said the visit had led French authorities to reassess their approach, acknowledging that they could no longer continue rhetoric viewed as hostile toward Algeria and its leaders. Ms. Royal hailed what she described as a positive shift in bilateral relations, while stressing the need to make progress on several long-standing issues raised by Algeria, notably the detention of a consular agent who has yet to be tried. She also said the French authorities should reconsider the decision taken when Bruno Retailleau was in office. Ms. Royal also stressed the need to restore economic relations in order to set win-win partnerships to be developed within a framework of equal economic cooperation between the two countries.
A delegation from the Algeria-Turkey Parliamentary Friendship Group at the People's National Assembly is on an official visit to Ankara, Turkey. The visit will last until May 15th. And as highlighted earlier in today's top stories, the head of the Palestinian National Council, Rouhi Fatouh, has rejected as ethnic cleansing the Israeli occupying authorities' decision to confiscate a region in the West Bank town of Jenin. He stated that the confiscation of the land was part of continuing war crimes perpetrated by the Israeli occupying authorities against the Palestinian population. The Palestinian official affirmed that the colonization policies had continued amid the pursuit of attacks launched by Jewish settlers against the Palestinians with a view to stripping the territory of its inhabitants and imposing a new reality there. In this respect, he urged the international community to globally reconsider its policies and positions regarding the Israeli occupation and to take concrete and dissuasive measures to put a halt to such crimes. It is worth recalling that towns, localities and refugee camps in the West Bank are regularly targeted by incursions carried out by the Israeli army and by settlers against the Palestinian population. Meanwhile, 3 Palestinians, including 2 children, were wounded in attacks launched by the Israeli occupying authorities against the Gaza Strip and the West Bank. The United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has expressed his support to the Spanish government, which is facing a health alert following the detection in early May of an hantavirus outbreak on a cruise ship off the coast of Spain. With this last piece of news, we come to the end of our news bulletin. Stay tuned to Radio Algeria International.
Hello
Hello and welcome to your weekly program Technoverse and the Science Planet on Radio Algeria International. Today, we explore a topic that affects every one of us who uses the internet: cybersecurity, AI-driven attacks, and digital privacy. From online banking and social media to government services and smart devices, our digital lives are expanding rapidly, and so are the risks. While technology offers unprecedented convenience and opportunities, it also introduces new kinds of digital threats that can impact individuals, businesses, and entire nations. To understand how to stay safe online, we first need to look at the growing landscape of cyber threats and why experts are raising the alarm. Over the last decade, our digital world has evolved faster than ever before. Computers, smartphones, and connected networks now process massive amounts of personal and institutional data every second. This data powers AI applications, cloud services, smart devices, and digital banking. But with these advances come new dangers. Hackers, criminal groups, and even some state actors are increasingly using AI-driven attacks to steal information, disrupt services, and exploit vulnerabilities. AI can analyze systems faster than humans, predict potential weaknesses, and craft highly convincing fake messages or documents. The UN Secretary General has warned of the growing dangers of such activities.
The very quality of seamless, instant connectivity that powers the enormous benefits of cyberspace can also leave people, institutions, and entire countries deeply vulnerable. And the perils of weaponizing digital technologies are growing by the year. Cyberspace has kicked the doors wide open. Anyone can walk through, and many are. Malicious activity in cyberspace is on the rise by both state and non-state actors and by outright criminals. Serious cybersecurity incidents are disturbingly common. AI-enabled cyber operations are multiplying the threat, and quantum computing could break down entire systems with its ability to breach encryption. Software vulnerabilities are being exploited, and cyber intrusion capabilities are even sold over the internet. Ransomware is one grievous example, a huge threat to public and private institutions and the critical infrastructure people depend on.
These words underline a simple truth. Cybersecurity is no longer optional. The convenience of digital tools comes with responsibility, both for users and for institutions that store, process, and protect sensitive data. Cyber threats today take many forms, each posing distinct risks. Ransomware is malicious software that locks files or entire systems until a ransom is paid, often targeting hospitals, banks, and government offices because disruption can be catastrophic. Phishing and social engineering use emails, messages, or fake websites to trick people into giving away passwords, credit card numbers, and other personal data. AI is now used to make these scams increasingly convincing, generating realistic messages that are difficult to distinguish from legitimate communications. AI exploits are another emerging threat, where hackers train AI programs to identify vulnerabilities or generate deep fake content for fraud. Imagine receiving a phone call that sounds exactly like your bank manager, instructing you to transfer funds, but it is entirely AI generated. Finally, data breaches expose sensitive information when companies or organizations fail to secure user data. In 2025, millions of accounts from a popular social media platform were leaked online, revealing emails, passwords, and private messages. Although cyber threats may seem overwhelming, there are practical steps that individuals and organizations can take to protect themselves. For individuals, this starts with using strong and unique passwords for every account, never reusing the same password across multiple platforms. A password manager can help generate complex combinations of letters, numbers, and symbols, making accounts far harder to hack. Enabling two-factor authentication adds an extra layer of security, requiring not only a password, but also a one-time code sent to a phone or generated by an app, which greatly reduces the risk of unauthorized access. keeping all software, operating systems, and app updated is also essential, as updates often patch security vulnerabilities that hackers could exploit. Using VPNs when connecting to public Wi-Fi encrypts your internet connection, protecting sensitive data like banking details, emails, and personal messages from interception by cyber criminals. Individuals should also practice cautious digital behavior. For example, before opening any email attachment or clicking a link, verify the source. Phishing attacks often mimic trusted contacts or institutions, and AI-generated messages make them even more convincing. Be wary of messages asking for personal information, even if they appear urgent. Protect your social media privacy by adjusting account settings to limit what is publicly visible, and avoid oversharing personal details online, such as birth dates, addresses, or travel plans. Secure mobile devices with passwords or biometric locks, and consider enabling remote wipe features in case a device is lost or stolen. Even small habits can make a big difference. For example, regularly checking your bank and credit card statements can help spot frauds early. Backing up important files to a secure cloud or an external device can protect you if your device is hacked or fails. By using strong passwords, two-factor authentication, keeping software updated, being careful with links, adjusting privacy settings, and backing up data, you can greatly reduce the risk of cybercrime, identity theft, and data loss. For institutions and businesses, protection requires a multi-layered approach. Employee awareness programs are critical, as many attacks succeed because someone unknowingly clicks a malicious link. AI-powered threat detection is increasingly used to monitor networks and flag unusual activity in real time, such as detecting abnormal transactions in banks before fraud occurs. Regular offline backups ensure that data can be restored in case of ransomware attacks, while access controls limit sensitive information to authorized personnel only. Incident response plans prepare organizations to contain, communicate, and recover from cyber incidents quickly. For instance, schools implementing online learning platforms can enforce two-factor authentication and password rotation for students and staff, while banks may use AI to detect unusual account logins instantly, blocking potential attacks. Globally, the UN and cybersecurity agencies emphasize international cooperation to counter AI-driven cyber threats. Policies, regulations, and preventive frameworks are essential to keeping people and nations safe. The UN Secretary General highlighted that digital technology can create a safer and fairer world if used responsibly and governed by strong frameworks and the rule of law.
Digital technology offers an incredible opportunity to create a more just, equal, sustainable and peaceful future for all. But breakthroughs must be oriented towards the good. The new Agenda for Peace places prevention at the heart of all peace efforts. It calls for developing strong frameworks in line with international law, human rights and UN Charter, and focused efforts by all states to prevent the extension and escalation of conflicts within and through cyberspace. As reflected in the new vision for the rule of law must exist in the digital sphere as it does in the physical world.
In Algeria, the authorities have placed cybersecurity at the heart of the country's digital sovereignty strategy. The National Cybersecurity Agency, ASSI, now leads a comprehensive plan to protect critical infrastructure, secure governmental and public data through a national data center and sovereign cloud, and ensure networks remain resilient against cyber attacks. In parallel, a 2025 nationwide awareness campaign led by the Ministry of Posts and Telecommunications has been launched to educate children, youth and families about online dangers, cyber fraud, scams, unsafe use of social media and internet risks. Lawmakers also called for updating the country's legal framework to better address cybercrime and AI-generated threats. And in terms of innovation, Algerie Telecom has set up a fund supporting startups in AI cybersecurity, showing that Algeria is investing not only in defense but also in building local digital capacities. Cybersecurity is not just a technical challenge, it is a societal one. A secure digital environment protects individuals, promotes economic growth, and ensures trust in institutions. Cybersecurity, AI threats, and digital privacy may sound complex, but the steps to protect yourself are clear and actionable. By staying informed, cautious, and prepared, we can safely enjoy the benefits of our connected world. You have been listening to Technoverse and the Science Planet on Radio Algeria International. Until our next voyage into the Technoverse, let curiosity guide your steps and knowledge lead your way.
Many countries around the world have ancient cities that are known not for their entertainment qualities or activities, but because they have become significant as part of their heritage and a noteworthy historical site. For Algeria, Mila is just such a town. Mila has a rich and fascinating history, which is rarely explored. Its ability to remain out of the spotlight for many years has led to the preservation of most of its buildings, fortifications, and homes. Originally known as Milium, the town of Mila formed part of the extensive Roman Empire. The Romans used Mila as a military post, which they have named Colonial Sarnesis Milevitana. Inscriptions of these names are still visible throughout the town today and are considered to be inscriptions of important historical value. Four towns were bound together during this time and were known as the Four Colonies. This confederation included Melevum, Kolo, Rusicada, and Sirta. The fortification wall that surrounds the town was added by Emperor Justinian in the 6th century, after which Mila gained fame for the councils that were held in the city and legendary men who attended. The most significant councils that were held here took place in 402 and 416. It is not exactly certain when Mila was finally taken over by the Umayyad Arabs, but it is suggested that this turning point in the history of the town took place between the years 675 to 682. It later came under the rule of the French and gained its town independence as a city in 1984, when it became part of the Mila province after Algeria gained its independence. Looking at this beautiful city, nestled in a green, water-rich oasis and surrounded by desert, the buildings and historical attractions within the city remain as they were in ancient times and are a rare glimpse into the past.